Well, hello students. Today in this class once again we are going to see the continuation of the photosynthesis topic. That is, in this class we are going to read about the raw materials required for photosynthesis. Now students, please concentrate here. As I have told you the introduction of the photosynthesis in the first class, then definition and some reactions we have seen. Then in the second class, site of chloroplast, site of photosynthesis we have seen, and also we people have seen about the thylakoid structure, granular structure, and also main important thing is we have seen the quantazone structure. Now in today's class we are moving on to see the raw materials required for photosynthesis, but keep this point in your mind. This is very important for the NEET in the CET. It is not for the theory. Okay, please concentrate here. It is very important for the CET and the NEET. Okay, so please concentrate on the raw materials required for photosynthesis. It is very important for the NEET and the CET. Now students, raw materials means ಕಚ್ಚಾ ಪದಾರ್ಥಗಳು ಅಂತ ಹೇಳ್ತೀವಿ. ಅನ್ನ ಮಾಡಬೇಕಂದ್ರೆ ಏನು ಮಾಡ್ತೀವಿ? ಹಸಿ ಅಕ್ಕಿ ತಗೋತೀವಿ, ನೀರು ತಗೋತೀವಿ, ಉಪ್ಪು ತಗೋತೀವಿ, ಮೇನ್ ಅಂದರೆ ಗ್ಯಾಸ್ ಇರ್ತದೆ, ಹೌದಿಲ್ಲ? ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಲೈಟೇ ಬೇಕು. ಅಡುಗೆ ಮಾಡಬೇಕಾದ್ರೆ ಲೈಟ್ ಬೇಕು, ಕಂಪಲ್ಸರಿ ಬೆಳಕು ಬೇಕು ಅಂದ್ರೆ, ಅಥವಾ ಬೆಂಕಿ ಅಥವಾ ಬೇಕು ಅಂತ ಹೇಳ್ತೇವೆ, ಹೌದಿಲ್ಲ? ಸೊ ಹಿಯರ್ ಆಲ್ಸೋ ಟು ಕುಕ್ ದ ಫುಡ್ ಮೆಟೀರಿಯಲ್, ಇನ್ಸೈಡ್ ದ ಲೀವ್ಸ್, ಎಲೆ ಒಳಗಡೆ ಆಹಾರ ಉತ್ಪತ್ತಿ ಕ್ರಿಯೆ ಆಗಬೇಕಾದ್ರೆ ಕಚ್ಚಾ ಪದಾರ್ಥಗಳು ಬೇಕು. ಏನು ಬೇಕು? ಕಚ್ಚಾ ಪದಾರ್ಥಗಳು ಬೇಕು. ಹಂಗಾಗಿ ಹೆಡಿಂಗ್ ಏನು ಕೊಟ್ಟಾರ? ರಾ ಮೆಟೀರಿಯಲ್ಸ್ ರಿಕ್ವೈರ್ಡ್ ಫಾರ್ ಫೋಟೋಸಿಂಥಸಿಸ್ ಅಂತ ಕೊಟ್ಟಾರ. ಅರ್ಥ ಆಯ್ತಾ? ಸೊ what they have given the heading, that is raw materials required for photosynthesis, they have given the heading. Okay, so once again if we speak in the English language, I have told you the example of cooking the food material for your stomach. Okay, main thing is if you want to cook the rice, then rice grains are required, water is required, salt is required, and mainly the gas is required, that is the light is required. Is it not? Fire is required. Suppose in case if there is no light, then there is no cooking of the food. Okay, so for that purpose the light is compulsory. So here also the sunlight plays a very important role in the process of photosynthesis, students. Okay, now please concentrate here. How many raw materials are there for the photosynthesis? There is presence of 4 raw materials for the process of photosynthesis, that is carbon dioxide will say, water will say, chlorophyll pigment, and the sunlight. Okay, carbon dioxide, water, chlorophyll pigment, and the sunlight are the 4 raw materials required for the photosynthesis. Understood? Now first we will move on to see the sunlight, because I have told you in the yesterday's class also that ಕ್ವಾಂಟಾಸೋಮ್ಸ್, ನೆನ್ನೆ ಕ್ಲಾಸ್ನಾಗ ಏನು ಹೇಳಿದೆ ಅಂತಂದರೆ ಕ್ವಾಂಟಾಸೋಮ್ಸು ಲೈಟನ್ನು ಎಬ್ಸಾರ್ಬ್ ಮಾಡಿಕೊಂಡು ಕ್ಲೋರೋಫಿಲ್ ಪಿಗ್ಮೆಂಟ್ನ ಆಕ್ಟಿವೇಟ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಾವ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿದ್ದೆ. ವಾಟ್ ಐ ಹ್ಯಾವ್ ಟೋಲ್ಡ್ ಇನ್ ದ ಯೆಸ್ಟರ್ಡೇಸ್ ಕ್ಲಾಸ್, ಕ್ವಾಂಟಾಸೋಮ್ಸ್ ಆರ್ ಎಬ್ಸಾರ್ಬಿಂಗ್ ದ ಲೈಟ್ and they activate the chlorophyll pigment present in them. So by anyhow, how many chlorophyll pigments are present in them? That is 200 to 250 chlorophyll pigments are present in them. Understood? And also there is a presence of the 50 carotenoids. Also there is a presence of what? 50 carotenoids. So likewise here also we are going to see that how those pigments are activated. Okay, and how these pigments are helping for the process of photosynthesis, that we are going to see in this concept. Okay, now so I have told you that sunlight plays a very important role in the process of photosynthesis. See, this is the sunlight. When imagine that this is the white light passing through the prism, and as it is passing through the prism, the VIB-GYOR or the visible light is produced. The VIB-GYOR or the visible light is produced here. Apart from that, in the sunlight there is a presence of cosmic rays, gamma rays, X-rays, UV rays, infrared rays, and the radio waves. Okay, so all these frequencies are present in the sunlight, and apart from that the visible light plays a very important role in the process of photosynthesis, that is called as VIB-GYOR. Students, already in the high school you have studied this one, but in detail you have not studied that time. That is a frequency range, wavelength range, and all you have not studied. Okay, please concentrate here. So visible light ranges from 3900 to 7800 angstrom, or 390 to 760 nanometer. If we measure in the wavelength range in the form of nanometer, it is right from the 390 to 760 nanometer. If we measure the wavelength range in the form of angstrom, it is 3900 to 7800 angstrom will say. Okay, now violet is having 390 to 430 nanometer, Blue is having 430 to 500 nanometer. Green is having 500 to 560 nanometer. Yellow is having 560 to 600 nanometer. Orange is having 600 to 650 nanometer, and red is having 650 to 760 nanometer, or sometimes it varies from 680 to 720 nanometer. Okay, it varies from 680. Actually, the red light is starting from 650 to 760 nanometer, but in between this red light, that is 680 to 720 nanometer, the red light is light is very important for the process of photosynthesis. Once again, I will repeat slowly. Please concentrate here. I was talking about the raw materials required for photosynthesis. What we are talking? Raw materials required for photosynthesis. That is nothing but what are the materials which are helping for the process of the glucose. Okay. For example, here apart from the main raw materials are carbon dioxide, water, chlorophyll pigment, and the sunlight. These are the 4 raw materials which are helping for the process of photosynthesis. Now basically we will start from the sunlight. Why? Because in the yesterday's class what we have seen, that is we have seen the structure of the quantazome, and also we people have seen the structure of the thylakoids. Thylakoids and quantazomes plays a very important role in the absorption of the sunlight. As I have already told you, quantazomes are the small spherical shaped structure discovered by the scientist called as Park and Wiggins, and each single quantazome is consisting of 200 to 250 chlorophyll pigments and 50 colored pigments. Carotenoids means what? Colored pigments. So when the light is falling on them, all the chlorophyll pigments are activated. When the light is falling on them, especially the visible light plays a very important role for the activation of the chlorophyll pigments. The visible light plays a very important role for the activation of the chlorophyll pigments. Okay. Now, next is here 2 types. So, a band of light is called as what? Spectrum. What is spectrum here? Please note it down the definition. Maybe it is not important for the theory, but CET and the NEET is very big, completely based on this. A band of light or a group of light. A band of light is called as spectrum. A band of light is called as spectrum. What is spectrum here? A band of light is called as what? Spectrum. So, 2 types of spectrums we are going to see. How many types of spectrum we are going to see? 2 types of spectrum we are going to see. One is called as what? Action spectrum, and the other one is called as absorption spectrum. One is called as what? Action spectrum, and the other one is called as what? Absorption spectrum. Okay. So one is called as what? Action spectrum. Other one is called as what? Absorption spectrum. Now what is action spectrum? Action spectrum means the immediate response given by the plant body when the sunlight is falling on them. Suppose for example it is a skin. Okay. Just I'll beat my hand. So immediate response, what it is getting burning, is it not? So likewise, same way in the case of the plant body also, when the sunlight falls on them, what happens? The immediate response is given by the plant body. Okay, so that is called as immediate response is given by the plant body for the process of photosynthesis. Photosynthesis ಆಗಬೇಕಾದ್ರೆ ಗಿಡದಿಂದ ಇಮಿಡಿಯೇಟ್ ಆಗಿ ರೆಸ್ಪಾನ್ಸ್ ಆಗಬೇಕು. ಓಕೆ, ಫೋಟೋಸಿಂಥಸಿಸ್ ಆಗಬೇಕಾದ್ರೆ ಗಿಡದಿಂದ ಇಮಿಡಿಯೇಟ್ ರೆಸ್ಪಾನ್ಸ್ ಆಗಬೇಕು. ಸೂರ್ಯನ ಬೆಳಕು ಗಿಡದ ಮೇಲೆ ಬಿದ್ದ ತಕ್ಷಣ ಇಮಿಡಿಯೇಟ್ ಆಗಿ ದ್ವಿತೀಯ ಸಂಶ್ಲೇಷಣಾ ಕ್ರಿಯೆ ಆಗೋ ಪ್ರಾಸೆಸ್ಸಿಗೆ ನಾವು ಆಕ್ಷನ್ ಸ್ಪೆಕ್ಟ್ರಮ್ ಅಂತ ಕರಿತೇವೆ. ಅರ್ಥ ಆಯ್ತಾ? ಸೂರ್ಯನ ಬೆಳಕು ಗಿಡದ ಮೇಲೆ ಬಿದ್ದ ತಕ್ಷಣ ಇಮಿಡಿಯೇಟ್ ಆಗಿ ದ್ವಿತೀಯ ಸಂಶ್ಲೇಷಣಾ ಕ್ರಿಯೆ ಸ್ಟಾರ್ಟ್ ಆಗ್ತದೆ, ಅದನ್ನು ನಾವು ಆಕ್ಷನ್ ಸ್ಪೆಕ್ಟ್ರಮ್ ಅಂತ ಕರಿತೇವೆ. Now for these words, for the English medium students, please concentrate here. I was telling that when the sunlight is falling on the plant body, the immediate response is given by the plant body, which is helpful for the process of the photosynthesis. That is called as what? Action spectrum. They won't think that this visible light is there, this visible light is there. No, immediate response, because the red light is there. Red light is there when it is passing through the leaf. Immediate response is given by the red light from the leaf for the process of photosynthesis. That is called as what? Action spectrum. Okay. Now absorption spectrum means what? The plant body is going to decide first. See, for example, violet, blue and the red light is falling on the plant body. Now in front of you, for example, in front of you will keep the variety dresses, variety color dresses like pink, orange, yellow, red, maroon. So all these colors are there in front of you. Now you will decide that which dress is suitable for me, is it not? That means you will take time for thinking, for selecting the dress. Likewise here also, the plant body also. Some of the plant bodies, they won't show immediate response. Okay, some of the plant bodies, they won't show the immediate response because they have to decide that which wavelength number is suitable for it. Okay, the plant bodies has to decide that which wavelength number is suitable for the process of photosynthesis. Then only they have to go for the process of the photosynthesis. Otherwise, what will happen if they select the another wrong wavelength number? What is going to happen? The cell death is going to occur. Death of the cell is going to occur. Understood? What is going to happen? The cells are going to die because of the highest wavelength range. Once again, I'll repeat this. Concentrate. What is absorption spectrum? In Kannada, just concentrate here. Absorption spectrum ಅಂತಂದ್ರೆ ಗಿಡಗಳು ಯಾವುದು ವೇವ್ಲೆಂತ್ ನಂಬರ್ ಅನ್ನ ಎಬ್ಸಾರ್ಬ್ ಮಾಡ್ಕೋಬೇಕು ಅದು ಡಿಸೈಡ್ ಮಾಡಕ್ಕೆ ಟೈಮ್ ತಗೋತಿರ್ತಾವ. ಫಾರ್ ಎಕ್ಸಾಂಪಲ್, ನಿಮ್ಮ ಮುಂದೆ ಹೇಳಿದ್ನಲ್ಲ, ಹೀಗೆ ಕಲರ್ ಡ್ರೆಸ್ಸಸ್ ಇಟ್ಟರೆ ನೀವು ಡ್ರೆಸ್ಸನ್ನು ಸೆಲೆಕ್ಟ್ ಮಾಡೋಕ್ಕೆ ಯಾವ ಥರ ಟೈಮ್ ತಗೋತೀರಿ, ಅದೇ ಥರ ಗಿಡಗಳು ವೇವ್ಲೆಂತ್ ನಂಬರನ್ನು ಸೆಲೆಕ್ಟ್ ಮಾಡಲಿಕ್ಕೆ ಟೈಮ್ ತಗೋತಾವೆ. Okay, they will take the time for selecting the wavelength number. Why? ಯಾಕೆ ಟೈಮ್ ತಗೋಬೇಕು? Because see how you are selecting the, ನಿಮಗೆ ಬೇಕಾಗಲಾರ ಕಲರ್ ಡ್ರೆಸ್ ನೀವು ಹಾಕೊಂಡ್ರೆ ಯಾವ ಥರ ಆಡ್ ಕಾಣಿಸ್ತೀರಿ, ಅದೇ ಥರ ಗಿಡಕ್ಕೆ ಬೇಕಾಗಲಾರ್ದ ವೇವ್ಲೆಂತ್ ನಂಬರ್ ಅದು ಎಬ್ಸಾರ್ಬ್ ಮಾಡಿಕೊಂಡ್ರೆ ಕೋಶಗಳು ಸತ್ತೋಗ್ತವೆ. ಓಕೆ, ಗಿಡಕ್ಕೆ ಬೇಕಾಗಲಾರ್ದು ಸೂರ್ಯನ ಬೆಳಕು ಅಥವಾ ವೇವ್ಲೆಂತ್ ನಂಬರ್ನ ಎಬ್ಸಾರ್ಬ್ ಮಾಡಿಕೊಂಡ್ರೆ ಕೋಶಗಳು ಸತ್ತೋಗ್ತವೆ. ಸೊ that is why we are it is so responsible that it has to decide and then it has to absorb, then it has to go for the process of the photosynthesis. So it is compared to the action spectrum, it is delayed. Okay, compared to the action spectrum, it is delayed for the process of the photosynthesis. That is why it is called as what? Absorption spectrum. What do we call for that? Absorption spectrum. And the complete spectrum concept has been given by the scientist called as Emerson. Robert Emerson is the name of the scientist. Okay, Robert Emerson is the name of the scientist who has given the complete concept of the spectrum. ಯಾರು ಇದನ್ನ ಕಂಪ್ಲೀಟ್ ಸ್ಪೆಕ್ಟ್ರಮ್ನ ಯಾರು ಡಿಸ್ಕವರ್ ಮಾಡಿದ್ರು ಅಂತಂದ್ರೆ ರಾಬರ್ಟ್ ಇಮರ್ಸನ್ ಅನ್ನೋ ಸೈಂಟಿಸ್ಟು ಕಂಪ್ಲೀಟ್ ಸ್ಪೆಕ್ಟ್ರಮ್ನ ಕಂಡುಹಿಡಿದ್ರು. ಓಕೆನಾ ಮಕ್ಕಳ, ಇನ್ನೊಂದ್ಸತಿ ಹೇಳ್ತೀನಿ ಕೇಳ್ರಿ. ಇವತ್ತಿನ ಕ್ಲಾಸ್ನಾಗ ನಾವು ದ್ವಿತೀಯ ಸಂಶ್ಲೇಷಣ ಕ್ರಿಯೆ ಆಗಬೇಕಾದ್ರೆ ಏನೇನು ಮೆಟೀರಿಯಲ್ಸ್ ಬೇಕು ಅಂತ ತಿಳ್ಕೊತೀವಿ. ಸ್ವಲ್ಪ ಇದನ್ನು ಎಕ್ಸ್ಟ್ರಾ ಹೇಳ್ತೀನಿ. ನೀಟ್ ಮತ್ತು CET ಇಂಪಾರ್ಟೆಂಟು. ಕಾರ್ಬನ್ ಡೈಆಕ್ಸೈಡ್, ವಾಟರ್, ಕ್ಲೋರೋಫಿಲ್ ಪಿಗ್ಮೆಂಟ್, ಸನ್ಲೈಟ್ ಆರ್ ದ ರಾ ಮೆಟೀರಿಯಲ್ಸ್. ನಾಲ್ಕು carbon dioxide is there, water is there, chlorophyll pigment, sunlight is there. Okay, and this is the complete sunlight, how that wavelength ranges, what are the rays present in the sunlight. This is a complete picture what we are drawing here. So here we are going to see the presence of cosmic rays, gamma rays, X-rays, ultraviolet rays, infrared rays and radio waves, and also the presence of visible light. So in the visible light, once again we are going to see the presence of 7 colors, that is violet, blue, green, yellow and orange and red. Actually in between this indigo also should come. Okay, so here a group of light or a band of light is called as our spectrum. So two types of spectrum are there, action spectrum and the absorption spectrum. Action spectrum means the immediate response given by the plant body for the process of the photosynthesis when it is absorbing the sunlight, that is making the, especially in these plants the red light plays a very important role in the process of the sunlight, especially in the higher plants. Angiospermy plant naga ನಾವು ಏನು ನೋಡ್ತೀವಿ ಅಂತಂದ್ರೆ ಇಮಿಡಿಯೇಟ್ ಆಗಿ ದ್ವಿತೀಯ ಸಂಶ್ಲೇಷಣ ಕ್ರಿಯೆ ಆಮ್ಲದ ಸಸ್ಯದೊಳಗೆ ನಾವು ಏನು ನೋಡ್ತೀವಿ ಅಂತಂದ್ರೆ ಸೂರ್ಯನ ಬೆಳಕು ಇಮಿಡಿಯೇಟ್ ಆಗಿದ ತಕ್ಷಣ ದ್ವಿತೀಯ ಸಂಶ್ಲೇಷಣ ಕ್ರಿಯೆ ಆಗಕ್ಕೆ ಸ್ಟಾರ್ಟ್ ಆಗ್ತದೆ. ಅದೇ ನಾವು ಪುಚ್ಚ ಸಸ್ಯಗಳು, ಉಭಯವಾಸಿಗಳು, ಪಾಚಿಗಳು ಇದ್ರೊಳಗೆ ನಾವೇನು ನೋಡ್ತೀವಿ, ಅವು ಡಿಸೈಡ್ ಮಾಡ್ತವೆ ಯಾವ ವೇವ್ಲೆಂತ್ ರೇಂಜ್ ನಮಗೆ ಸೂಟ್ ಆಗ್ತವೆ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿ. ಓಕೆ, So in the case of the angiospermic plant body, immediately the plant bodies absorb the red light for them and they start the process of the photosynthesis. But in case of algae, bryophytes and the pteridophytes, since the plant bodies are very small, okay, since the plant bodies are very small, they have to decide that among these wavelength range, which wavelength range is suitable for them. Okay, they have to decide that among these wavelength range, which wavelength range is suitable for them. Okay, that is called as what absorption spectrum. What do we call for that? It is called as what absorption spectrum. And the complete concept of the spectrum has been discovered by the scientist called as Robert Emerson. Robert Emerson is the name of the scientist who has given the concept of the complete spectrum. Okay students, so this is about the sunlight. Okay, now one more point you have to see, that is called as what? Red drop effect. Okay, what do we call for that? It is called as what? Red drop effect, or it is also called as Emerson's enhancement effect. What do we call for that? Emerson's enhancement effect. Red drop effect, or it is also called as what? Emerson's enhancement effect. Because who has discovered this red drop effect? That is Robert Emerson. So since Robert Emerson has discovered the red drop effect, so it is also called as what? Emerson's enhancement effect. So basically the story of the Robert Emerson is that he was doing a research on the algae called as chlorella. Okay, chlorella is the algae. Chlorella is an algae, belongs to the Chlorophyceae. Belongs to Chlorophyceae. Okay, he was doing a research on the chlorella. Understood? Now while doing the research, some modification has been occurred in the chlorella. Chlorella ಒಳಗೆ ಕೆಲವೊಂದು changes ಆಗಕ್ಕೆ ಶುರು ಆಯಿತು. And he has found that it is autotrophic in nature. That means they can prepare their own food material. Okay, how it is preparing? He started thinking that and started doing the research. ಯಾವ ತರ ದ್ವಿತೀಯ ಸಂಶ್ಲೇಷಣ ಕ್ರಿಯೆ ಆಗ್ತದ ಅಂತ ವಿಚಾರ ಮಾಡ್ಕೊಂತ ಅದರ ಮೇಲೆ ರಿಸರ್ಚ್ ಅನ್ನ ಶುರು ಮಾಡಬೇಕಾದ್ರೆ he has found the presence of chlorophyll pigments. Okay, he has found the presence of chlorophyll pigments like chlorophyll A, B, C, D and E. Okay, so basically all the chlorophyll pigments are present in small amount. Ella chlorophyll pigment 5 type chlorophyll pigments adava, ellanu ಕೆಲವೊಂದು trace effects ಅಥವಾ ಸ್ವಲ್ಪ content ನಾಗ ಇರ್ತವೆ. And also he has seen that there is a presence of phycobilins. Okay, there is a presence of phycobilins or carotenoids. Colored pigments ಅಂತ ಕರಿತೀವಿ ನಾವು. ಏನಂತ ಕರಿತೀವಿ? Phycobilins ಅಥವಾ carotenoids ಗೆ ನಾವು colored pigments ಅಂತ ಕರಿತೀವಿ. ಅರ್ಥ ಆಯ್ತಾ? Okay, next ಏನಾಯಿತು? He has shown the graph. Okay, now the chlorella has shown the normal photosynthesis in the chlorophyll pigment. Okay, chlorella has shown the normal photosynthesis in chlorophyll pigment, but in the colored pigments it has not shown the photosynthesis. Colored pigments ne ಸ್ವಲ್ಪ ಕಡಿಮೆ, but chlorophyll pigment ನಾಗ ಜಾಸ್ತಿ. chlorophyll A ಅಂತ ಹೇಳ್ತೀವಿ, B ಅಂತ ಹೇಳ್ತೀವಿ. So green color pigment it is. Why green color pigment? Because there is a presence of quantazones. Why not in the colored pigments? Because there is an absence of quantazones. If they are present, maybe lesser amount of quantazones. ಅರ್ಥ ಆಯ್ತಾ? So the chlorophyll pigment is activated when the sunlight falls on them. Okay, immediately the photosynthesis increases. The rate of photosynthesis is increased over there. Okay, the rate of photosynthesis is increased in the chlorophyll pigment. Then it will come down because sunlight is not there, and also chlorophyll pigment become deactivated. Once again it is activated because there is a presence of sunlight. So once again there is an activation of the photosynthesis. So this dropping, this is called as red drop effect. That means when the wavelength range ಯಾವಾಗ ವೇವ್ಲೆಂತ್ ರೇಂಜ್ ಕಡಿಮೆ ಆಗುತ್ತಾ ಬರ್ತದೋ ಆವಾಗ ನಾವು ಅದನ್ನ ರೆಡ್ ಡ್ರಾಪ್ ಎಫೆಕ್ಟ್ ಅಂತ ಕರಿತೀವಿ. ಆ ರೆಡ್ ಕಲರ್ ಒಂದ್ ವೇಳೆ ವೇವ್ಲೆಂತ್ ರೇಂಜ್ ಕಡಿಮೆ ಮಾಡ್ಕೊಂತ ಅಂತ ತಿಳ್ಕೊರಿ. ದ್ವಿತೀಯ ಸಂಶ್ಲೇಷಣ ಕ್ರಿಯೆ ಕಡಿಮೆ ಆಗ್ತದ, photosynthesis is going to become less. When the red when the red light is wavelength range is coming down, at that time it is called as what? Red drop effect, or it is also called as emergence enhancement effect. Very important for the NEET and the CET. Emergence enhancement effect. Emergence enhancement effect. So once again I will repeat, there is a drop in the red wavelength range. There is a drop in the red wavelength range when the sunlight is absent. During that, photosynthesis constant is going to become low, and that effect is called as what? Red drop effect, or it is also called as what? Emergence enhancement effect. What do we call for that? Emergence enhancement effect. Understood? So overall, this is the concept of the sunlight. Okay, this is the concept of the sunlight. So here, sunlight plays a very important role in the process of photosynthesis. Just a brief revision. A band of sunlight is called a group of light, or a band of light is called as spectrum. So here two types of spectrums are there. One is called as what? Action spectrum, and the other one is called as absorption spectrum. So action spectrum is nothing but the immediate response given by the plant body for the process of the photosynthesis for the sunlight, and absorption spectrum means the plant body has to decide that which wavelength number is suitable for that, or which wavelength range is suitable for its body, and then it has to undergo the process called as photosynthesis, and it is getting a bit delayed, and all the concept of the spectrum or the sunlight has been observed by the scientist called as Robert Emerson while he was doing the research on the algal organism called as chlorella. So basically chlorella is belonging to the chlorophyceae, which is consisting of the green color pigments, that is chlorophyll A, B, C and D and E. So these chlorophyll pigments are activated when there is the presence of the red light only. ಯಾವಾಗ red light ಅದರ ಮೇಲೆ ಬೀಳುತ್ತಿತ್ತು ಅವಾಗ ಅಷ್ಟೇ ಆಕ್ಟಿವೇಟ್ ಆಗೋದನ್ನ ನೋಡ್ತೀವಿ, ಇಲ್ಲ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಆಕ್ಟಿವೇಟ್ ಆಗೋದನ್ನ ನೋಡೋದಿಲ್ಲ. Okay, so that is why when there is a fall in the red wavelength range, okay, 680 to 650 to 760 nanometer wavelength range ಇರಬೇಕು. ಅಂದ್ರೆ 650 ಕಿಂತ ಕೆಳಗೆ ಬಂದ್ರೆ, if there is a less wavelength range below the 650, then the photosynthesis will become less constant. Rate of photosynthesis will become less. Why? Because the red wavelength range is becoming low. Okay, so that is why this drop is called as what? Red drop effect, or it is also called as what? Emergence enhancement effect. What do we call for that? It is called as what? Emergence enhancement effect, which is very important for the, which has been discovered by the scientist called as Robert Emerson, and all this concept is very important for the CET and the NEET. Now this completes your sunlight. What we have completed? We have completed the sunlight. Now next we will see about the carbon dioxide and the water. Okay. Now students, carbon dioxide is also playing an important role in the process of photosynthesis. Why? Because without carbon dioxide there is no glucose formation. Okay, without carbon dioxide there is no glucose formation. Glucose form ಆಗಲ್ಲ, carbon dioxide ಇರಲಿಲ್ಲ ಅಂತಂದ್ರೆ ಏನು ಫಾರ್ಮ್ ಆಗಲ್ಲ? ಗ್ಲೂಕೋಸ್ ಫಾರ್ಮ್ ಆಗಲ್ಲ. So the CO2 plays a very important role. Okay, so C6H12O6 form ಆಗಬೇಕು ಅಂದ್ರೆ the CO2 and water plays a very important role here. Okay, so that is why photosynthesis ಗೆ ನಾವು ಏನಂತ ಕರಿತೀವಿ? What is the other name of the photosynthesis? Photosynthesis is also called as carbon fixation, or it is also called as carbon assimilation. Photosynthesis ಗೆ ನಾವು ಏನಂತ ಕರಿತೀವಿ? ಕಾರ್ಬನ್ ಫಿಕ್ಸೇಷನ್ ಅಂತ ಕರಿತೀವಿ, ಇಲ್ಲ ಅದನ್ನ ಕಾರ್ಬನ್ ಅಸಿಮಿಲೇಷನ್ ಅಂತ ಕರಿತೀವಿ. ಅರ್ಥ ಆಗಲಿಕ್ಕೆ ನಿಮ್ಗೆ? So CO2, if it is not there, then there is no synthesis of the glucose. So what is this? This is the carbohydrate. What is this? This is the carbohydrate. When the carbohydrate is synthesized, when there is a presence of the water and the CO2. If there is no water, no CO2, then there is a what is the use of sunlight? Okay, what is the use of chlorophyll pigment? So all the raw materials should be in the equal ratio. All the raw materials should be in the equal ratio. Okay, so photosynthesis is also called as what? Carbon fixation or carbon assimilation. So nearly for the photosynthesis, the carbon required is, the carbon dioxide required is, CO2 required is 0.03 to 0.05% minimum. Okay, 0.03 to 0.05% or 0.5%. Maximum is 1%. Okay, maximum is 1%. If it is exceeding above 1%, ಒಂದು ವೇಳೆ 1% ಕಿಂತ ಜಾಸ್ತಿ ಆಯಿತು CO2 ಅಂತಂದ್ರೆ the food is going to convert into poison. Okay, the food is going to convert into poison or toxic substance. Understood? So carbon dioxide also plays a very important role in the process of photosynthesis, but if this carbon dioxide is exceeding, then there is a food poison or the toxic substance is going to occur in the plant body. Understood? And this, because of the presence of the carbon dioxide only, we are going to see the photosynthesis as the carbon fixation or carbon assimilation. Carbon dioxide ಇರೋದ್ರಿಂದಾನೇ ನಾವು photosynthesis ಗ carbon assimilation ಅಥವಾ carbon fixation ಅಂತ ಕರಿತೀವಿ. ಯಾಕಂದ್ರೆ ಕಾರ್ಬನ್ ಡೈಆಕ್ಸೈಡ್ ಇರಲಿಲ್ಲ ಅಂತಂದ್ರೆ ನಮಗೆ ಕಾರ್ಬೋಹೈಡ್ರೇಟ್ ಸಿಗಲ್ಲ. ಕಾರ್ಬನ್ ಡೈಆಕ್ಸೈಡ್ ಮತ್ತೆ ವಾಟರ್ ಕಂಪಲ್ಸರಿ ಬೇಕು. ಅವೆರಡು ಇರಲಿಲ್ಲ ಅಂತಂದ್ರೆ ನಮಗೆ ಕಾರ್ಬನ್ ಡೈಆಕ್ಸೈಡ್ ಸಿಗಲಿಲ್ಲ ಅಂತಂದ್ರೆ ಗಿಡ ದ್ವಿತೀಯ ಸಂಶ್ಲೇಷಣ ಕ್ರಿಯೆ ಆಗಂಗಿಲ್ಲ. ಅರ್ಥ ಆಯ್ತಾ? ಎಷ್ಟು ರೇಂಜಿಗೆ ಬೇಕು ಕಾರ್ಬನ್ ಡೈಆಕ್ಸೈಡ್? ದಟ್ ಇಸ್ 0.03 to 0.05% of the carbon dioxide is required. Minimum, maximum 1%. ಅದಕ್ಕಿಂತ ಹೆಚ್ಚಿಗೆ ಆಯಿತು ಅಂತಂದ್ರೆ ಇಟ್ ಈಸ್ ಕನ್ವರ್ಟಿಂಗ್ ಇಂಟು ಅ ಪಾಯ್ಸನ್ ಆರ್ ಟಾಕ್ಸಿಕ್ ಸಬ್ಸ್ಟೆನ್ಸ್. ಅದಕ್ಕಿಂತ ಹೆಚ್ಚಿಗೆ ಆಯಿತು ಅಂತಂದ್ರೆ ಏನಾಗ್ತದೆ? ಪಾಯ್ಸನ್ನಾಗ ಅಥವಾ ಟಾಕ್ಸಿಕ್ ಸಬ್ಸ್ಟೆನ್ಸ್ನಾಗ ಕನ್ವರ್ಟ್ ಆಗ್ತಿರ್ತದೆ. ಓಕೆನಾ? ಸೊ ಇದು ಕಾರ್ಬನ್ ಡೈಆಕ್ಸೈಡ್ ಬಗ್ಗೆ ಆಯಿತು ನಮ್ಮ. Then next is coming to the water. Okay, next is coming to the water, H2O ಅಂತ ಹೇಳ್ತಾರೆ. Students, maximum 1% of water is enough. 1% of water is enough for photosynthesis. Water ಇದಕ್ಕೆ ಬೇಕು. ಫಾರ್ ಎಕ್ಸಾಂಪಲ್, ಇವಾಗ ನಿಮ್ಮ ಊಟ ಮಾಡ್ತಿರ್ತೀವಿ. ಸೊ ಊಟ ಮಾಡಬೇಕಾದ್ರೆ ಊಟ ಮಾಡಬೇಕಾದ್ರೆ ಗಂಟ್ಲಾಗ ಸಿಗಿ ಹಾಕೊಂಡ್ಬಿಡೋದು. ಸೊ ಗಂಟ್ಲಾಗ ಸಿಗಿ ಹಾಕೊಂಡು ಅಂದ್ರೆ ತಂತಾನೆ ಒಳಗೆ ಹೋಗಂಗಿಲ್ಲ, ಹೌದಾ? ಸೊ ಕಂಪಲ್ಸರಿ ನೀರು ಕುಡಿಲೇಬೇಕು. ಸೊ ನೀರು ಏನು ಮಾಡಿದ್ರೆ ಅದನ್ನ ಸಾಗಾಣಿಕೆ ಮಾಡ್ತಾರೆ. Okay, and also the water is an universal solvent. It is very important for the meat and the seed. Water is an universal solvent which is playing an important role, but in case of plant bodies it is minimum. Okay, 1% water ಅಷ್ಟೇ ಇದ್ರೆ ಮಾತ್ರ photosynthesis enzymes activate ಆಗ್ತವೆ. Why the water is required? For activation of enzymes. Why the water is required here? For the activation of enzymes. ಯಾವ ಥರ ನಿಮ್ಮ ಬಾಡಿಗೆ ಗಟ್ಟಿಗುಟ್ಟಿ ಆಗಿರಬೇಕಾದ್ರೆ, ಸಪೋಸ್ ಇಫ್ ಯು ವಾಂಟ್ ಅ ಹೆಲ್ದಿ ಬಾಡಿ, ದೆನ್ ಹೌ ದ ವಾಟರ್ ಪ್ಲೇಸ್ ಅ ವೆರಿ ಇಂಪಾರ್ಟೆಂಟ್ ರೋಲ್. Likewise, the plant body also is requiring water, but only 1%. Why that 1%? Because enzyme activation should be there. Photosynthesis ಆಗಬೇಕಾದ್ರೆ, ಆಹಾರ ಉತ್ಪತ್ತಿ ಆಗಬೇಕಾದ್ರೆ enzymes compulsory ಬೇಕು. So for the activation of the enzymes, the 1% of water is enough for the process of photosynthesis. For the activation of the enzyme, 1% of water is enough for the process of photosynthesis. Understood? So this is about the water we have seen. So water is an universal solvent which is required for the process of photosynthesis, but only 1%. If it is exceeding, then what happens? The complete wilting or some imbalance is going to occur inside the body. Okay, now the cell is going to die because of the presence of more water also. Understood? So this is the third raw material we have completed. Air complete ಮಾಡಿದ್ವಿ, sunlight complete ಮಾಡಿದ್ವಿ, CO2 complete ಮಾಡಿದ್ವಿ, water complete ಮಾಡಿದ್ವಿ. Now last raw material we are going to see, that is about the chlorophyll pigment. Now students, chlorophyll is a green color pigment. What is chlorophyll here? Chlorophyll is a green color pigment. What is chlorophyll? Chlorophyll is a green color pigment. So this green color pigment is present inside the leaves. Okay, chlorophyll irodeli, it is present inside the leaves. Okay, so chlorophyll is a green color pigment. Okay, chlorophyll is a green color pigment. Chlorophyll is a green color pigment present inside the leaves. Present inside the leaves, because in the leaves there is a presence of chloroparenchyma. In the leaf there is a presence of chloroparenchyma. Parenchyma ಒಳಗೆ chloroplast ಇದ್ದದಕ್ಕೆ ನಾವು chloroparenchyma ಅಂತ ಕರಿತೀವಿ. Okay, and this chlorophyll pigment are of 5 types. Chlorophyll pigments are of 5 types. Chlorophyll pigments are of 5 types. That is chlorophyll A, chlorophyll B, chlorophyll C, chlorophyll D and chlorophyll E. So there are 5 types of the chlorophyll pigments what we are going to see, and chlorophyll A is called as universal pigment. Chlorophyll A is called as universal pigment. Okay, so this is all about the chlorophyll pigment, and these chlorophyll pigments are also present inside the bacteria. Okay, inside bacteria also there is a presence of presence of chlorophyll pigment. There is a presence of chlorophyll pigment which is called as bacteriochlorophyll. So if you when you have studied the bacteria, there you have seen autotrophic bacteria, photosynthetic bacteria. Okay, photosynthetic bacteria ಒಳಗೆ ಹೇಳಿದೆ ನಾನು bacteriochlorophyll ಕಂಪಲ್ಸರಿ ಇರ್ತಾವ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿ. So the bacteria which is made up of chlorophyll pigment are called as what? Bacteriochlorophyll. Okay, the bacteria which is made up of chlorophyll pigments are called as what? Bacteriochlorophylls. Understood? So this is all about the raw materials what we have seen in the class. Okay, so how many raw materials are there, students? 4 raw materials are there. That is, one is called as what? Chlorophyll pigment, carbon dioxide, water and the sunlight. So sunlight plays a very important role in the process of photosynthesis. So which wavelength range is suitable for the process of photosynthesis? That is 680 to 720 nanometer. That is, I have told you in the quantum photosystems are involved. ಎಲ್ಲ chlorophyll pigments activate ಆಗಿ ಒಂದೇ reaction center ಗೆ ಬರ್ತಾವ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳುತ್ತೆ. That is called as what? Light harvesting complex or reaction center, or it is also called as photosystem. So those photosystem is consisting of 2, that is PS1 and PS2. PS1 PS2 ಎರಡು wavelength range red light ಗೆ ಇರ್ತದ. red light 650 to 760 nanometer wavelength range ನಡುವೆ ಇರೋದಕ್ಕೆ ಅದನ್ನ ನಾವು ಫೈನಲ್ ಆಗಿ ಕನ್ಸಿಡರ್ ಮಾಡೋದೇನು ಅಂತಂದ್ರೆ red light plays a very important role in the process of photosynthesis. Okay, then CO2 is required. Normally 0.03 to 0.5% of the CO2 is required for the process of photosynthesis. Maximum is 1%. If it is exceeding 1%, then the food material is going to become toxic substance and slowly the plant body is going to die. Then next is we are moving on to see the water. Only 1% of water is required for the process of photosynthesis for the activation of the enzymes. And last is chlorophyll pigments we are going to see. So chlorophyll pigment is nothing but they are present inside the leaves. And why only in the leaves? Because inside the leaves there is a presence of the parenchymatic cells, and those parenchymatic cells are called as chloroparenchyma. And there are 5 types of chlorophyll pigments we are going to see, that is chlorophyll A, B, C, D and E. And all these 5 types, among all these 5 types, chlorophyll A is called as what? universal pigment, and also these chlorophyll pigments are present inside the bacteria, so it is also called as what? Bacteriochlorophyll. What do we call for that? It is called as what? Bacteriochlorophyll. Okay, so we'll see in the next class, in the next concept, what we are going to see is chlorophyll structure, then formula, empirical formula of the chlorophyll pigment, and then we'll start the process of the light reaction and the dark reaction, students. Okay, so please note it down. If you have any doubts, you can call me and ask the doubts, and or else you can do the message in your group, and we just reply for that message, or else alternate meeting is there. Okay, so whenever the biology meeting will be there, just you have to ask the doubts. We are going to repeat the classes in the biology meeting, and just tell the complete concept whether you are understanding or not. Okay, students, just note it down all these things.